Hi everyone, I'm the Clone, and this is how over the 79 games I've played, I achieved a 70% win rate and got to master playing Shaco only. First, let's go over what build I found to work best in High Elo. While playing with both Lethality and Crit, I found myself mostly relying on meta items such as Profane Hydra and Bork in my latter games to carry, the reason being early to mid game power, as when playing Crit you need time to get to full build before you start doing impressive damage. Here are both builds with runes. Which one is bad and which is good? The answer is simple.
Both is good.
Here are some of the games I've had while playing with both Lethality and Crit. Also, if you want to see the games live and ask me anything, join me over at twitch.tv/MikeTheClone, where I stream as often as possible. And if you wish to see more videos, you can always support me by simply dropping a like and subscribing for my amazing 1 million IQ tips. Now, let's go over the last few games which were the most intense that got me to Master Elo. By the way, there won't be many memes or edits in this one, but on top of my live reaction... Oh shit, boy. One basic attack. Bro, do something, bro! I will comment over the place, giving tips and tricks for everything, explaining how to carry and win with Shaco even when behind and in High Elo to make sure you also get that crazy win rate. In the first game, as always, I went for the classic invade. This invade is quite reliable. Oh, he's coming. That was quite unlucky. Usually the enemies never ward. Therefore I immediately rotate as I know Echo will likely go for my blue. Monster doesn't have flash, to be honest. Huge. Could kill him. Huge. Huge. Yes, just like my cock. I kept saying huge on stream for each good play. That's my way of making commentary. YOLO. Okay, should be fine. Here, that was worth it, because I needed to reset anyways. What the fuck was that, bro? Creating and following up on jungle fights is always great. Now, we have Dragon Prio. Okay, it's fine, I can take Drake now. That was the goofiest E of my life. Usually you always trade dragon for grubs or the other way around. Here I am using the grubs to bait the enemy team and kill them. As you can see, because of grubs, Malzahar left mid, resulting in a free kill for us. Plus I get the grabs after. Here I see Yon use his E, meaning it's a free kill. Man, I'm getting extra fed. This is a random team fight. Usually I don't recommend partaking in them. As you can see, no flanking means the enemy knows where I am, and I completely get denied. But if you can catch a low enemy trying to flee, why not? Huge. Okay, huge. I guess we got Baron. Maybe I can kill Yon. It's kinda fucking super tanky, to be honest. Even if an enemy is tanky, sometimes you have to force plays to impose your dominance and keep your advantage. If you don't, they will play defensive until they turn the game around in their favor. You have to make plays. Jesus Christ. Oh sheesh, I guess I'm out. Hello? That was the most random escape ever. And I want to kill that little bitch mid. Picks. This will be one of your main ways of carrying the late game. You have to be careful as Shaco is extremely squishy. Even only one ability almost killed me. Always push after winning a team fight or secure an objective and make sure to reset. Catching the enemies off guard in the jungle is just a huge mistake by them. And it's GG. Next game. As you saw, while I wasn't fed last game, I was able to do my job, although the next ones won't be so easy. Again, same strategy, invade, stealing the enemy buff always puts them behind.
This is gonna be here soon, but I want to gank me so bad.
But do not tunnel vision on one thing when another opportunity arises, such as this gank mid lane.
Quality flash. And she's dead. See ya.
Here I misplay because I trusted my box and Aurelian Soul too much.
Oh fuck, I ain't it so bad. Oh sheesh.
As I said in the previous guide, using void grabs as bait is great, as enemies are both very vulnerable while doing them and have no abilities up.
Huge flashes. The plays are real. That stun was huge, bro. Gonna have to focus on my bot, cause that's what we need to win. This scene should be too bad. Like, I swear to god, this guy is so awkward.
Focus the bot lane. If we kill them a few times, the game is secure. I don't have clone, which is unlucky, but I do trust my damage. Always be confident.
Can she like die? Thank you, Riot, for 20% crit. She critted me twice, bro, with 20%.
Well, I actually stand corrected, as she did crit me 3 times. Flank, then let the enemy focus and use their abilities on your team. The problem Shaco has, if you're not ahead, you do 0 damage. Like, literally.
Cool. I'm playing with a useless piece of shit, disgusting 0 damage champion, I suppose.
Any mid laner mage will auto damage you, as they get a lot more from AFK farming than you will ever get from ganking every lane and securing every objective. Clear the enemy vision and rush dragon. They will not expect you to take it so fast. In this game, while not actually behind, I'm weaker than everyone else because Shaco is a fucking minion when not fed.
Teamwork copy.
Therefore, the best thing that you can do in this situation is to split push.
Fucking Orianna, man. Like, I have to split push, I have nothing else better to do. Yeah, they're doing balance, so that sucks. If they don't let them recall, that's gonna be huge. It's actually kind of huge. See ya! I cannot jump on Zac because she's way too strong.
While true again, if distracted by your team, you can go in.
Huge, please don't die. Oh my god, you stupid fucking hoe, dude! I mean, I have helping damage. If they jump in, and I also jump in, I can help them with damage, but otherwise I cannot one-shot anyone on my own. All we gotta do is split, baby. They're gonna fight me, then I'm gonna take top side. Damn, the dodges.
While bot fell, I am slowly securing top.
I'm probably gonna die here. Sheesh, actually I'm not.
This is a perfect example of what I was talking about late game Shaco's damage compared to other champions.
Excuse me? She just attacked me once, bro. Yeah, I'm just gonna pressure bot lane. I know if for all that it's bad. It's really bad, man.
The thing is, if the enemy team is winning the team fight and they also send someone to stop you from splitting, you basically lost the game. It is imperative for you to be able to 1v1 the enemy that defends.
Oh, that's huge, that's huge.
As you can see, I opened their nexus. Thus, even though my team died, the enemy cannot use the opportunity to end the game or take any objectives as they are stuck inside their base.
And I'm out, baby, you know what I'm saying, boy. Sheesh. God damn, that one was a bit hardcore, man. The Baron. Going back to top, boys. We're making pressure. I need this thing to leave. Going for it, El Truco. El Truco goes for it, man.
And this is stupid, but basically the game is over at this point. We have Baron, and the minions will pressure their base.
But it's over, man. It's over. We put them down.
And the chat, as always, calling me out for getting carried.
Get carried, man. Shut your bitch ass up, boy.
This is a better example for me to explain. I cannot fight the enemy team, but my minions can. Double Big Daddy minions on all 3 lanes, as we got all their inhibitors. After our minions kill theirs and the towers, they will start attacking the enemy team. Plus they're gonna get hella creep blocked. These minions have like 4 to 5k HP each and around 400 AD. You can imagine, I don't even have to do anything except distract them. The minions will win the game for us on their own. Here I die because I'm retarded.
I'm kinda retarded.
Again, perfect example of how anyone can kill you in a 1v1, even when ahead, as long as you don't super sweat tryhard. Now this game will be extremely hard, and I will teach you how to play against an enemy team that you cannot do anything against.
Let's go for the invade, boys. Or actually...
Again, while going for the invade, I change my mind as better opportunity arises as our bot is fighting and I can get kills. Always be confident. With Ignite you can 1v1 almost anyone at level 3.
Classic. You know it's a classic flash, baby. Okay, my plan right now is that I'm gonna farm a lot and help my team through getting all the objectives. So basically I'm gonna get the void grabs, then I'll go straight for dragon. Damn, guys, that's crazy. So sad. You know, as long as my team chills and they don't give away my position, like, we should be fine.
Allies luring enemies to an objective while you're vulnerable as you're taking it is not quite ideal.
Thank you. Can you take maybe Drake, you fucking apes?
In water, chimps will drown.
I ignore everything and go straight for the grabs. If Xin Zhao shows up, he's a free kill. If not, it's free grabs, thus a win-win regardless.
Seriously. That was a bad ignite. Can still dive for it.
You can always dive as you can reset the tower aggro with clone. Too bad she had flash.
Oh! Knock.
Always champion on enemies that are tunnel visioned on your team. This is a perfect example of how Shaco has 0 damage as I'm not fed.
Bro, there's a tower there, bro! That's not good.
Same idea here. Enemy team is over-focused on mine. They use their main abilities and are low HP, meaning that I can freely flank and clean them up.
Oh!
Here I'm trying to keep out of Xin's reach while securing Nami. While here I'm way too cocky, but I do secure the blue.
Come on, baby! God damn! God damn! Wait, I also stole the blue. You know...
After winning a fight, I'm always pushing or taking an objective.
I'm not sure if we can end. Maybe help me get a fucking tower team?
And after this, to ensure a clean victory, I'm going straight for dragon. Never give the enemy a chance to come back.
Like, you know, why didn't they just take the tower? Whatever, I'm out. I have to go get Drake.
Too bad my team had other plans.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I need to rush this shit.
I tried to rush dragon, but since I'm not super ahead compared to my team and have no clone up, well, here I engaged very bad as the fight hasn't started and all enemies are grouped. Also, Shaco was again extremely squishy.
That makes total sense, by the way. Yeah, we can rush it.
Luckily, I rushed Baron with Kaisa,
Nice, huge.
but again, too squishy.
Of course. 0.3 seconds, by the way. Think we lost this one. It's not good at all. Getting caught like that, it's super cringe, but Lizard Carry is dead. Maybe I can go Dragon now. See ya. Oh, sure, of course. It should have let me go inside the portal because that was complete bullshit, man. It should only work on damage.
Remember Singe from last game? As I said, if you're behind and cannot even split push, you're officially useless.
This guy's chasing me, apparently.
Oh shit, here we go again.
I cannot split push because I have that garbage, disgusting champion. Of course, man. But like one basic attack, you fucking dog shit, disgusting. That's all I have to do, one shot MF, dude. If we win that fight, it's gonna be huge. Because Camille is probably gonna be bot.
My choice here was to help my team instead of pushing bot, as I knew they would die and Camille would stop me from backdooring.
We need to position really well, and we lost a guy. I lost 2 guys, because of course we lost 2 guys.
Ultimately, we lost as I was useless and couldn't kill their backline. Couldn't split push because of Camille and couldn't secure objectives either. My team played relatively well, but after each one fight, instead of pushing and keeping our advantage, we trolled and let the enemies come back through their defensive playstyle. Same invade here. As I notice Mastery is taking my blue, I immediately rotate to intercept him.
He's stealing!
Problem here is the box not activating.
Unlucky. At least we got their sums.
Here I'm syncing with Renata to gank mid. Mastery being there is just another free kill.
Sheesh. Okay, he's coming as well. But we should be fine.
I'm very confident while taking grabs as I have level 6. I immediately jump on E and use Hail of Blades, then clone to bug and permanently give it Hail of Blades. Being the first to strike the enemy gives you a massive advantage.
Bruh!
Another game where I'm relatively behind as I didn't get fed early game. Basically, if you're not overfed with Shaco, you're behind.
I should easily be able to kill Twitch, like... He's such a dumbass little bitch.
In this situation, I try to provide opportunities for my team by catching enemies. Too bad it doesn't work out.
Sag. Damn, I can't have shit in Detroit, bro. This bitch has to come and take the wave.
Not only there will be situations where you are behind, but your team will also starve you. Sometimes it's best to focus on the enemy support and cut them off from helping their AD carry.
Please die! Did I eat?
Random teamfight. As you can see, I'm so squishy, the enemies are not even targeting me with abilities and I'm still somehow almost dying.
Twitch is low as fuck, bro.
Just because a squishy AD carry is low HP, it doesn't mean they're a free kill. Always plan both how to kill them and how to get out after.
Of course he has flash. She has heal, he has flash. They have too many abilities that deny everything. If I could just one-shot one of them, dude. Yeah, it's always here. She's always there, bro, always. Even if they're alone for 1 second, I don't have enough time to one-shot them before Lulu comes in. And that Twitch would have been free. What Kill is gonna do, I'm not trying to hate because I hope it's not gonna be the case, but she's gonna AFK, farm, run around the map, not die once, and then we have one big fight at the end, she dies once and then the game is over. That's literally what's gonna happen. Oh, never mind. Well, I don't want to alarm you guys, but we lost the game. Unless they're doing better now. Hey, let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Oh, nice. That totally did hit. 100% did hit. Shish. No. Yes! My team has Baron, that's so fucking stupid! Oh my god.
Finally, Twitch is alone and it works out.
There's only Lulu and Sarakta, to be fair.
Having won that fight, we press our advantage and again, without their support, Twitch is a free target.
Okay.
Finally, we win the game.
G fucking G, man.
Here I know the enemy Rengar started topside as the enemy bot appears in lane while the enemy top is absent.
Damn, he started top.
This makes me adapt the invade. I'm instead going blue, frog, my red and then invade. Again, while on my way to invade, I see a better opportunity and take it.
Huge. Okay. What the fuck?
As Shaco heavily relies on ganking, if we fail that early game, the enemy jungler will easily get a level lead as they AFK farm the jungle. Shaco is also very vulnerable to invades. Luckily, I do manage to outplay the Rengar here.
God bless.
You can see, Veigar has no vision on me as I hug the wall and hide behind it. I immediately use clone with perma hail of blades and try to avoid his stun. This is quite a bit unlucky. What I wanted to do here was get Rengar as low HP as possible, then Q, let the clone attack him a few times and finish him off.
Ah, I killed, by the way, Riot Games, you piece of shit game company. Nice, good flash, bro. Maybe we can like kill them, my man. Why is Veigar of all champions faster than me, bro? Oh, nice. Jesus Christ, I'm having like the worst ever luck.
It's very important to keep cool. At this point, I'm also starting to get tilted, as I know a fed Rengar can counter my flanking and one-shot me late game.
Damn. That's unlucky, am I right? Like literally everything happening. Like literally everything, and I'm dead. Oh no. Oh nice, he gains 18 billion movement speed. Shish, that guy's dumb as fuck. And I'm dead. Oh, I played bad, I should've ran.
Every time I see an opportunity in this game, I must make sure to take it and try to come back, as otherwise, with every minute passing, we're only getting closer to defeat.
Of course, Rengar got away. Please die. I glitched in the minions, what the fuck do you want from me? I fucking got stuck and I couldn't move in any direction.
That boy is stuck in time.
Ooh, huge. Okay, so Malphite's bot. There's only Vayne up.
Just like last game, I'm split pushing to get both gold, XP and create pressure.
Can she die? She has Ignite on her. No. I have no fucking damage, man. Like, I do a full combo, I use everything.
At this point, the enemy team is simply too fed and it is impossible for me to carry or take out their backline. Especially if my whole team dies before the fight even starts.
I wouldn't be necessarily surprised if they're doing Baron, but no, they're not. Yep, that was obvious.
As I mentioned earlier, the Rengar is trying to one-shot me.
Nice. Teamwork, OP. Oh, that's pretty good ult. Nice, 1500. The list was kinda legit. Maybe just a bit unlucky, but you know, 1 in 10, it's not bad. The wave's gonna have to be fully pushed.
Again, adapting my invade into a dive. Unfortunately, I get both CC'd and creep blocked.
And that. It is what it is.
Contesting Scuttler can work very well, especially since I will zone Kha'Zix with a box. I am also being careful as the box, unfortunately, doesn't counter his passive Q damage unless visible. Having my laner follow up is huge.
Okay, that was huge kill, actually.
Knowing Maokai has no flash, he's overpushed, Camille has ult, he's just free. I also keep my Q to counter his escape.
Free real estate, man.
While Shaco is vulnerable to invades, so are other junglers. I know my bot is with me and thus I want to force a fight as I have the advantage. I get the red buff and the kill. Now it's time to reset. Unfortunately, my bot has other plans though.
Why? Why did he get fucking caught, bro? Why is my Twitch getting caught? Why is Twitch not going back to base, fam? Is he retarded? Hello?
Losing bot prio equals we lost dragon.
Oh, okay. How the fuck does that hit, man, when I'm not there? Pantheon is inting. What the fuck, bro? My bot is 0 on 7, man. In 10 minutes, it's that bad.
The problem is, I'm the only one with kills in my team. Thus, I must force every fight to try and get my team fed as well. Luckily, we win this one and get the advantage.
Bless. It's part of the job, man. We lost tower because I don't have ult. My ult is gonna be very close. No, it's not in time.
Again, trying to force fights. Unfortunately, Shaco is both very easy to deny an engagement by supports and is very squishy.
Huge. He's literally 1 HP, bro. But yeah, as you can see, man, the fights, the games are so much harder. They're a literal struggle, man. You go up 1 elo and it's a fucking struggle. It's not worth it, trust me. That's a little very awkward, actually.
As the enemy team pushes, it's impossible for me to do anything with Shaco, as when they are this grouped, I would only int as seen in previous games. My best choice is to try and get as much as possible by focusing other objectives.
You know, if they want inhib, they can take it, I don't give a fuck, because they're gonna back after it anyways.
Now, when they are scattered, it's the perfect time to catch them one by one.
Crazy hook.
Again, as you can see here, if the enemy knows where you are, since all of Shaco's damage comes from basic attacks, getting CC'd simply denies all of your damage. Regardless, the previous fight gave us Dragon Prio. As both teams are distracted fighting, I secure it. And luckily, the enemy team completely throws as they get baited onto the objective one by one.
Huge. We could try a Baron.
With each fight, we get more prio to other objectives, getting closer to victory.
Like you see, they got inhib mid lane, but it's useless. It's completely useless for them. Because they're not doing anything with it. Instead, while they took inhib, we got so much more. We enabled ourselves to do dragon. I'm just chilling here, you know, creating pressure. And I have Baron, so I'm gonna take tower soon. It's a calculated call. Look, they're all going top now. And now bot lane should be free. And that guy just sucked his own dick right there. Not gonna risk it. Well, unless it's free, obviously.
I thought I had damage, man. My team cleared the other guys and then finished the game as we built up the pressure.
Well, you can do shit in late game. Just try to pressure and be annoying. The reason why you cannot one-shot is because they're all AFK under towers.
And here's the final game that got me to Master. Every game I place a box to guard the entry to the jungle. Thus, we now know I'm about to get invaded.
Oh shit. Are they gonna invade? Yes, they are.
I always back off, as with Shaco, there's nothing that I can do to counter the invade. Luckily, my team does come in, I bait for kills, and we win the fight.
Nice. That was huge. That was so weird.
As I couldn't invade, I tried to sneak a counter gank. In the early game, I cheese as much as possible, especially as with Shaco, you have a ton of escape potential. I zone with box, basic attack with red to slow and deal damage, and again, I bait.
See ya. Oh no! Oh no! El Truco strikes again.
As I see Vigo, I know where he will path through. Therefore, I cut his path and force a fight.
Am I tripping?
Knowing I have the advantage of surprise. This fight also results in us killing their bot lane, giving us another massive advantage.
Huge. Like, see, I'm getting super duper mega fed here. I need level 6. Did he just strip?
Always, at level 6, force fights against level 5 enemies, as the clone will guarantee you the fight.
Sheesh.
As always, after one fight, secure the closest objective.
Okay, he's going for Skeller. The fuck? My main just stripped. My main just stripped.
I'm trying to reset my clone to teleport back and fear Xayah. Unfortunately, it bugs. classic, and thus I don't get a fear.
Oh, a little help here, Mr. Trash. I'm helping you out. Yep. I have a lot of damage, like you saw that. Did you see how much damage I did to Zaya? Just basic attacks. Just basic attacks. That's how fucking fed I am right now. Okay, he used his stun ability. Always jump on enemies that have used their abilities. I denied him the play, that's huge. Like, if you see an enemy that used their stun or their jump ability, jump on them because they should be free.
As you can see, even during the stream, I'm explaining my plays and giving tips. Thus, if you enjoy that sort of gameplay, make sure to follow me at twitch.tv/MikeTheClone and come watch. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to support me and see more videos.
Problem is, our Kai'Sa's kinda sus. Boom. Boom. I'm gonna let Brand take the kill. Okay, beautiful. Could have stolen that, but I don't want to. I'm too fed right now. I want my teammates to get ahead as well, because if you get way too fed, the whole game is gonna rely on you.
I was getting a little worried here, as Kai'Sa will start feeding hard. And you never want to let your enemies have any chance of coming back. Always press your advantage. Waiting inside the bush and have the enemy come to you is huge, as you don't have to engage using Q, and can keep it to dodge CC and then chase.
Okay, huge. Why is my clone stopping?
I'm always aggressive, as while I'm low HP, I can still do a ton of damage. Also, I'm trying to apply as much pressure, lure and distract enemies while my team is flanking and catching up with them.
What is this clone fiesta? Okay, this should be dead. No, rip vein. Those guys are cringe. This vein is huge. This vein is fucking huge, man.
I'm always looking for the biggest threat or the easiest target. Here, since they can all get away, I focus Zaya, as she's the biggest threat. Exhaust, Ignite plus ult. Had I not been fed, I would have died in 1 second, just like with MF.
They have no vision here, man.
As my whole team dies, it only further proves my point on how you should never go easy on the enemy, thinking you've already won a game just because of an amazing early game.
That's very awkward.
In order to press our advantage, I have to force fights and objectives, thus we rush Baron, and with it, pressure all lanes. After half one teamfight, the enemy is low HP and focuses on my Thresh.
I just need my Q, man.
Always do picks in this scenario.
Take this inhib, take the top inhib, and it should be over.
My biggest mistake here was thinking that I can fight a tank, as I do have Borg, but never bother. Just reset and split push again another lane, create more pressure.
I have no damage, my guys! Look at those fucking items. Obviously I don't have damage. Like, I carried the early game though. Super carried the early game, but man, this champion is a piece of shit, useless champion late game. I want a plus 50, bro. Yes. That's all I'm asking for, man, for the plus 50. Oh, we did it! Oh my god, I cannot believe this, guys. I cannot believe I got to Master. This is the craziest moment of my life. I'm gonna jump off a cliff of happiness, if you know what I'm saying.
In conclusion, as you saw, plenty of games I didn't get super fed. Yet I still used what tools Shaco has to secure objectives, help my team in fights, flank and kill unaware enemy carries and split push, creating pressure that won us the games. And as always, until next time.